I'm Meaghan.
I'm KRISTY.
And we are
Homebrew
Murder Crew.
Woo! Micro. Hey, Meaghan, I have a question for you.
Yeah?
And this might be because you guys are our Patreons, and this is a microbrew, and only our Patreons can see/hear this. I mean, take it as you will, but and we can restart it if you don't like me asking you this. But if you were an idol, what would your name be?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think I'd be Crispy K.
Crispy K.
Or Krusty K. I don't know.
I don't know.
Mega.
I was going to say Meaghan.
Mega J.
Mega G.
Mega G-Spot.
Mega G.
That's I'm calling you Mega G-Spot from now.
Mega G-Spot.
For sure.
I love that.
Hella yes.
Hell yeah.
Hella yes. Oh my goodness.
Good.
Welcome our Brewsters.
Our beautiful, beautiful Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon.
Meaghan's got one for us today.
Yeah, so I'm bringing a little microbrew. Woo! So, I don't even know what I really classify this as, but it's a microbrew.
It's a microbrew from what you've prepared me for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of like a category of its own.
Yeah, it's a little bit
like I don't know the
crime, a little bit of everything except the paranormal.
I'm so excited.
Except the paranormal. So, the episode I'm bringing to you guys some, a little bit of a tidbit about a song. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a song today. So in 1992,
it was the 90s.
Oh God, lately the 90s have been such a big thing online to shame us and make us feel really old. It's like, if your birthday started with 19, this is you. Like, fuck it. Anyways, the 90s were
patient with me. I was born in the 1900s.
Yeah, right?
I do love that t-shirt and I want it.
I do too.
I'm gonna make it for myself and you.
Do it. So in 1992, the American rock band from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Soul Asylum, released their 6th studio album titled Grave Dancers Union. The album, after 2 singles that did well but did not hold any spots on the Billboard Hot 100s.
So like one-hit wonder type?
Kind of. Yeah. So, I mean, like they were signed to a record label. Like they had a pretty big following. They did get some other spots on other, like Billboard type things, but not the Billboard Hot 100 until June 1st, 1993, when they released the 3rd single from their 6th studio album, Grave Dancers Union, titled Runaway Train. So I did look into the copyright things and we can't actually play the song on here, but you've probably heard it. I wouldn't really call them a one-hit wonder because they had 2 hits.
What was the other one?
The other one was called, I gotta double check. You know what? I don't remember, but there wasn't and it was actually off the same album.
Really?
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Bear with me. That's why it's a microbrew. Come on, Esther.
Runaway train, come back. A one-way track. Another here nor there.
Oh, I love it.
Sorry, I don't know the words really, but I know the song. That's the one that she's talking about right now, not the one she's looking up.
I believe the other song was called Black Gold.
Oh, sounds familiar.
Yeah, you would know it if you heard it. That was the thing is that Yeah. So anyways, this song was released in 1993 from their album Grave Dancers Union.
It was the 90s. All right.
So-
Anytime you say the year 1990, whatever, I'm going to say, it was the 90s.
Oh, good. I love it. So the power ballad became a success all over the globe, reaching number 5 and number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. Pretty good, yeah. The single earned a gold sales certificate from the Recording Industry Association of America, so the RIAA, after selling 600,000 copies in the U.S. Outside of North... Outside of North America, it reached number 2 in New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, and Switzerland, and peaked within the top 5 on the charts on several other European countries. Runaway Train specifically also helped bring Grave Dancers Union to a multi-platinum level in both Canada and the United States, and it also won a Grammy Award for Best Rock Song in 1994.
Oh, it was the 90s.
So the lead singer, Dave Piner, talking about the single, said he had written it while he was suffering from a nervous breakdown when he believed that he was losing his hearing.
About Runaway Train?
He wrote the song during that time.
Okay.
So he had a nervous breakdown because he thought he was losing his hearing. And in that time, he decided to pick up the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
That's when he wrote most of their ballads, this being one of them.
Precious.
He wrote several songs. This was one of them. The term runaway train, he said, was a metaphor for his depression that was spiraling out of control at the time.
Dude, I feel ya.
Reaching the level of success the single had, Dave Piner said in an interview about the single that, quote, it overshadowed everything else we did, but I'm pleased that the song has resonance that is not about partying and screwing. It's a sad and reflective song that reminds people that it's not all candy out there, but that you're not alone, unquote.
Aww. Is this an episode about mental health?
Kind of. Yes.
Okay.
It would be. It does have a lot to do with mental health. But that was not the main topic.
No, okay, gotcha. Okay. We're not there yet. Okay.
So producer Michael Beinhorn, talking to Spin about the song, also said, quote, I distinctly recall first hearing Runaway Train, not least of all because it was the very first song on the demo cassette they sent me. It just
cassette.
Yeah.
It was the 90s.
It just had this rawness. The very first song, it just had this rawness to it. It felt like the naked expression of the desperately sad person. Every sentiment, every lyric was so beautifully employed and placed. It all added up to a very intense mood, as well as something that was easy for anyone to relate to who had ever felt lost in their life. It reminded of a classic country western song in that way, unquote.
And you know what's wild is like, there's... not to compare or anything like that or take away from them or anything, but go back in your mind to being in the 90s and what resonated with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now that you're the age that you are now and you go back to some of those 90s songs and you're like, holy shit, like, this is it. This is the song that is of my life right now, you know, and it's wild.
This actually takes me back to 2 days ago.
Oh, good.
So,
not too far.
Like sidebar here. So my boyfriend and I took my stepdaughters to their first rock show, and we went and saw Canadian band Sum 41 for their final Canadian tour. So their first final tour. Every rock band does a final tour. Let's hope it isn't, because it was incredible. But it was one of those moments where,
are we that old that Sum 41 is doing a final tour?
Like,
how?
I don't know, but like that's the thing, right? Is that we think about how much we loved them when we were younger, and then like me in particular have gone all these years where I haven't really listened to them.
Yeah.
But at the concert, I was like,
It was like
I
never
actually
changed.
understand and relate to these lyrics now because
it's wild.
what they sing about is like how fucked up the world is. And they talk about mental health and all that stuff that when I was 8 and these songs were being released were just like catchy, fun songs to me that I was like, I could totally relate to this, not knowing that it was like what was in store for me and my mental health.
So damaged and broken, and the government. Yeah, but like really back then, he didn't know anything about the government. But a lot of these punk bands are singing about the government.
I know,
like like NoFX, for example. It's like, I didn't like, I couldn't. What's the word? I couldn't relate. I guess. Like back then. Yeah. Like the music, the sound was great, but I couldn't relate to the lyrics very much. So it wasn't really my jam at all. But like now it's like,
it's a whole new experience when you go back to listen to these songs with our life experience and having that whole life
experience.
Like you all, I in particular, like I can recall, like, of all the music, all the songs of my life, I can still remember every detail of the first time I ever heard Somewhere I Belong by Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And when I remember how I felt the first time I ever heard that song, and I remember it like so vividly, but I also remember when I rediscovered the song as an adult with the life experience that I had. And it was like rediscovering this song that I loved and related to in a whole different way now that I'm an adult.
So it's kind of like,
it's like reliving the initial experience of hearing that song for the first time.
And it hits different, but
it hits different.
Goosebumps, you know?
And like, that song is like, I remember the first time I heard that song. And every time I hear it now, it takes me back to that day.
Amazing.
And I remember the second time I rediscovered this song as an adult and like understood and felt the lyrics after Chester's passing. Yeah. Because the songs, every single one of Linkin Park's songs hit differently now.
Chester, rest in peace. Chester, rest in peace.
Now that he is gone.
We know what that means. Oh, I'm sorry.
But anyways,
everybody like who's watching and listening to this right now, leave in the comments, what is your super nostalgic song that really hit you when you were younger, but also hits you so much harder at your current age.
And like everybody I'm sure has that one. And I bet
I can't think of mine right now, but I'll let you guys know.
I can promise you that this song is that song for at least one person. At least, well, like at very least one person where you heard it in the 90s when you were a kid and were like, this song is so good. And then you go through the life that, you know, the turmoils of life, and you you hear it again after years and it hits different because you can relate to it.
Mine is You and Me, Baby, ain't nothing but mammals, but let's do it like they do in the Discovery Channel.
Hear it again now.
Fucking Jimmy Pop, man.
I love it.
Oh, my love.
Oh, I love that. But this particular song, Runaway Train by Soul Asylum, had actually become more than just a song. Because of the accompanying music videos. They also are something to talk about. And this is what my episode, like why I chose to cover this, was the music video for this already powerful, beautiful song. There were several versions of the music video made they had a different version for the United States than they did for Europe.
Oh, really?
So the United States version of the song begins with...
Is this a U.S. band or is it a European band?
They're an American band.
Okay.
Okay. So the U.S. music video version begins with a fade to black screen with big white block text reading, quote, "There are over 1 million youths lost on the streets of America," unquote. The UK version begins with, quote, "100,000 youths are lost on the streets of Britain," unquote. Throughout the music videos, various images of children running or appearing with injuries from abuse are shown. During the courses, however, pictures of actual missing children, so the American one are American children that were missing, and the UK one is UK children that were missing. So it flashes with photos of these missing children. And after each picture is shown, their full name would appear in large capital letters on the screen, along with the years they had been missing.
Oh my God, I love that.
No. At the end of the video, the ending that is unfortunately that was regularly not shown.
Uh-oh.
Piner says in front of the camera, quote, "If you've seen one of these kids or you are one of them, please call this number." And then following, unquote, and then following that, it would show the number on the screen for people to contact.
And that was not shown?
No, MTV in particular actually cut the ending from the video when they would show it.
What about Much Music?
Because they didn't. I didn't.
About Much Music?
I did not look up Much Music.
I feel like George Stroumboulopoulos would have had us here.
I feel like that, but MIT in particular cut it off because they didn't want people to confuse it with a public service announcement. Which, whatever.
Lame.
But these images were very real. And the video was directed, by an English director named Tony Kaye. He was known for films, music videos, advertisement, and documentaries. Tony Kaye said in an interview that that as a result of this music video, at least 21 of the missing children were actually located. Yes and no.
Oh.
In 2006, however, Soul Asylum's guitarist Dan Murphy stated in an interview with Pasadena Weekly that, quote, "Some weren't the best scenarios. I met a fireman on the East Coast whose daughter was in the end of the video, and he had been in a bitter custody battle with his wife over her. It turned out the girl hadn't run away, but was killed and buried in the backyard by her mother. Then on tour, another girl told us laughingly, quote, 'You ruined my life,' unquote, because she saw herself in the video at her boyfriend's house, and it led her being forced back into a bad home situation," unquote.
Well, that's loaded, but
yeah. So the UK version of the video actually featured Vicky Hamilton and Dania McNichol, who each went missing in 1991. Their remains were found in 2007 at a house in Margate. Peter Tobin has since been convicted of both of their murders. The UK version also featured Mark Bartley, a runaway who went missing in 1992. He was recognized in the video by a man who knew him, knew he was staying in a tenant's house below them, but was unaware of his missing status. But by the time police had arrived, Mark and the man that he was living with were gone.
I guess some of these people don't want to be found.
Yeah.
And also, it was a night.
I know. So it is unknown today whatever ended up happening of him. Curtis Huntsinger, who was featured in the US video, was located deceased in 2008. His convicted killer, Stephen Daniel Hash, pled guilty to manslaughter in 2009. Andrea Bowman, also featured in the US version of the video, was a teenage girl who disappeared in Michigan in 1989. And in 2020, her adoptive father, Dennis Bowman, confessed to her murder and buried
Dennis
remains.
Bowman sounds so familiar.
But he burying her remains in the family's backyard. He also confessed to the 1980 rape and murder of Kathleen Doyle in Virginia.
Oh, I feel like I just saw this on a fucking show.
Probably because, The last image in all 3 US versions of the video, because there's several, like, apparently US versions. The video shows a Thomas Dean Gibson who disappeared from Douglas County, Oregon in 1991 at the age of 2. He is still missing. He was still missing as of February 2021. An age progressive photos of him at the age of 18 and 21 were released in 2009 and 2012, respectively, by the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Thomas's father, Larry Gibson, a former deputy sheriff, was convicted of second-degree manslaughter after prosecutors alleged that he accidentally killed Thomas when he shot at a stray cat in the front yard. Even though no remains were ever found, Larry maintains his innocence and claims to have worked on finding Thomas since being released from prison in 1996. The case was featured on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
Ooh. Okay, Dennis Bowman. Yes.
Dennis Bowman, yeah.
Dennis Bowman, I was on, it wasn't Unsolved Mysteries. I don't think. Maybe it was.
It might have been.
Maybe it was, but then I just searched up the image and this is exactly. He literally brought this woman, this girl's body. Was it his daughter or his stepdaughter or something?
It might have been the other woman that he was he confessed to raping and murdering in 1980. No, it was Kathleen Doyle.
No, it was the daughter.
The daughter.
It was the daughter. And he brought her body from one home. Mm-hmm. And when they moved, it was like in an oil drum or something. He moved the body with them.
Yeah, that's fucked. So,
and then buried it in the new home's backyard.
Yeah. Adrian Bowman.
Yes.
God.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. The version shown in Australia showed a number of young backpacking tourists whose families were looking for them that went missing at various different times. Many of those shown in that version were actually confirmed victims of the serial killer Ivan Milat, who was arrested in 1994. And so not long after the Australian version of the music video was released.
Okay, so the Australian version was released and then in 1994.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
like months after the video came out.
But you can't blame them for that.
No. It's not their fault.
Okay.
But the music video helped them kind of.
It helped them.
It helped them like.
I get that some people are like upset because it's like, I didn't want to be found.
Yeah.
Like
some people were upset, but this music video actually did contribute to finding 21 people.
Beautiful.
21 missing children in a, not all of them ended in a happy way, but these cases ended up getting closed because they were featured on this music video and people were calling the phone lines and saying, I've seen them, I know about this, blah, 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 blah. Or people confessing to murdering them because of the music video and all of the hype behind it. It probably was a pressure thing, right?
That's great.
So also featured in the US music video that are still missing today are Christopher M. Kurzer, Martha W. Dunn, Andrea D. Durham, Wilda M. Benoit, Byron E. Page, Kimberly S. Doss, Dawn E. Fochtman, John F. Lango, Patrick S. Betts, and Christina A. Wood. But that is the Runaway Train by Soul Asylum music video and how this music video helped solve 21 missing children.
That's amazing.
But like you said, yes, some of these children were missing on purpose.
Sorry.
But
how they couldn't have known that.
At the same time, there are you can tell authorities where you are and your situation and it not have to
unless you're a minor, I guess.
Yeah.
Because otherwise
children.
If you're a minor, then you tell authorities and you're going into a group home.
But I
I
mean,
mean, yeah. And then especially if you're in an abusive situation and you just need to escape and you're in a safe place, but there's no way anybody could do that because there's still going to be, sorry, I just hit my microphone there. There's still going to be missing flyers for you. There's still going to be, like Crime Stoppers stuff out there for you. It's, so what's this? How's this any different than that other than another avenue to get exposure for who is missing? And it's doing more good than it is doing bad. And there's no intentions.
Yeah. But it's like, we're talking about the 90s too, when the internet wasn't such a big thing. And this video,
90s,
this music video gave the opportunity for these missing children's photos to be distributed national, like on a global scale, on a global scale, which is something that at the time was not as easily done as it is today with social media and
nobody's ever done that in a music or thought to do that in a music video before. No, I don't think anybody's done it since then.
I don't think so either. I mean, obviously there was some negative impacts that that video had on a few of the people. That's the end of my episode, but that's just an unfortunate situation. And I mean, it's not their fault. Like these people were reported missing. Somebody missed them. Somebody cared about these people and had the wherewithal to.
Somebody wanted to find them and hurt them. So, I mean, you never know. You never know the situation. But, if there's a missing person's reported missing, then, and it's known to everybody, then people are going to do it's like what we do too. And what we did with echoes and that sort of thing. But like, we don't know. People, we can cover an unsolved case and it's like, we don't know if that person is like, murdered or just missing or where they are. It's like, we don't know the circumstance for which they're missing. We don't know if that's intentional or unintentional or whatever. All we're doing is like, just trying to spread awareness. Yeah. So
I think it was a beautiful idea.
A beautiful tribute to these people that have gone missing, and like the outcome like far surpasses any bad that came from it, and like like I said, there was no malice intended.
No.
So
no, that is
amazing.
Yeah, so that's
so Runaway, Meaghan.
My Soul Asylum. I can't even remember where.
Like, what made you think of that?
I don't remember where that idea came from. I don't remember. It was one of those things that like it came up while I was researching something else, and I quickly put it in the little spreadsheet that we have on episodes.
Meaghan always
tracking, and it was so I looked into it. But runaway train never coming back. Yeah, I love it. That's
one-way track. Obviously, we can't play it for you guys because there's copyright.
I looked into it. We can't legally play it.
We can sing it,
but definitely look it up. Yeah, look it up on YouTube because I mean there are several different versions of the video that include photos of missing children.
Yes. So
many that are still missing today.
I'm so sorry I did that right before you just said that.
That's okay. This is part of our.
I'm not editing it.
We don't edit Patreon episodes. No. You get like all of our fucking weird and fucked upness here
and inappropriateness. Also, this is my vision board right here.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it is right there. Yep, there you go, Meaghan. Thank you. Don't mind that. That's just me manifesting.
Anyways, thank you for tuning into our Patreon.
And we will talk to you guys
next week.
Next
probably.
weekend.
And don't forget our Patreon. But we were nominated for an award.
What did you just say that? I didn't understand that as English at all.
What?
That wasn't English for me. What did you say?
We were nominated for an award.
Oh, yeah, we were
So
nominated.
the next time that you hear from us, we could be an award-winning podcast, or probably not, but we're gonna
be
manifest it. So.
share
We
us.
will definitely milk that shit if we went. We are
gonna milk it so bad.
Anyways, sorry.
But since you guys are our Patreons and everything, if you could please share our podcast, especially like Facebook and Instagram would be huge.
Yes.
Leave us a review on wherever you're listening. That helps us a whole bunch. I didn't want to say huge again because that was would have been weird.
Yeah. Tell your friends about us.
Tell your friends. We don't need to remind you of our socials because you're already there. Yeah. So thank you for your patronage. And it was the 90s. Runaway train. Never coming back.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.